about Nick Wright's list. I just
well, because because of what you just said.
I'm here to participate.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, well, the reason we're starting with you is because if we started with me, it'd be like, yes, I agree with the list that I put together. Okay, Kobe is 6, and it's the last 50 years, so Russell's ineligible. So the 5 guys who are left on the list, and I won't reveal the order, are obviously Kareem, Michael, LeBron, Magic, and Duncan. Those are the 5 guys who are ahead of him on the list. I don't think it is worth spending time, at least a lot of time, on the fact that Rick Bucher just said he has Kobe Bryant ahead of LeBron James on his all-time list. Because it is just such an indefensible point. Like, the thing Kobe did the best was score, and LeBron scores more. The thing Kobe theoretically is better than LeBron at is shooting, except LeBron has a better efficiency. Oh, Nick, that's on layups, except he also shoots a better three-point percentage. The thing Kobe did the best was clutch shots, except LeBron has 5 playoff buzzer beaters, and Kobe has 1. And that disregards the fact that everything else to do with
LeBron
basketball,
is more clutch than
LeBron was better at it.
I mean,
okay, well, I mean, again, so Wilds, you can shake your head at it because, again, you've been brainwashed by it. Kobe has 1. We've seen it on a loop for 20 years. Kobe's 1 career playoff buzzer beater where he then pantomimed the Michael celebration. LeBron's got 5 of them. But I don't even want to debate Kobe versus LeBron because I don't think it's interesting. The Kobe versus Duncan thing I think is interesting because I think there's a real argument there. And I have Duncan ahead of him. And I'm surprised that 2 guys who played in the same era and that Duncan, with a higher degree of difficulty, had never had a down year. 50 wins every single year of his career, the playoffs every single year of his career. The only year he didn't win 50 was when the season was 50, and he won the title that year. Why you think Kobe is ahead of Duncan?
I'll lump all this together for you.
Sure.
I'll answer both of those. First of all, there is the difficulty of when you're talking about different eras to make comparisons. The competition was different, the game was different, et cetera, et cetera. So we always reduce these things to numbers. Even if we take accolades, we reduce it to numbers. 3 MVPs versus 2 MVPs, whatever it might be. And that looks nice, but it's not reality. What I have is the benefit that I have is that I saw Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James all play their entire careers. And so it's not a matter of me having to measure numbers or accolades or all of that because I'm conscious of all of the variables that are involved. But you don't want to get into LeBron. We'll put that aside because we're never going to solve that between the 2 of us. When it comes to Duncan and Kobe, it's simply this. It's that, yes, that Duncan never had a down year, okay, but he was also with a franchise. A lot of changes made in terms of coaching and personnel over the course of his career. I simply look at the accomplishment of winning 3 in a row.
That Woj also raising the possibility that Brooklyn could simply wait it out, bring both of them back, both superstars back to start the season. So, Bucher, I ask you, what are the chances the Nets start next season with either KD or Kyrie, or both, on the roster?
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance that they start with both. The value of Kevin Durant is just so great. There's no reason that they're not capable of making a deal or finding a deal that they find equitable in order to move forward. Kyrie's a little bit of a different story, and in part because while I believe that the dynamics are different now that they're moving Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so the inability to find a sign and trade that's palatable And let's face it, a sign and trade with the Los Angeles Lakers, maybe the Dallas Mavericks, they decide to really hold the Lakers' feet to the fire. But I believe at this point, if they get enough for KD, they're okay moving Kyrie and looking at it as addition by subtraction. It's not the same as when they were looking at a sign and trade and how do we get enough pieces back or enough assets back to still make us viable with Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons. Now it's a matter of, hey, we could still be very good if we get the right package back for Kevin Durant. So now it's just a matter, let's move on from Kyrie. But there's the other element. How much do they want to work in concert with Kyrie to get him what he wants? Do they need to move Kyrie? They've already experienced what it's like to have Kyrie technically on their roster, but not playing for them. I don't see them having any motivation to expedite things just to make things good for Kyrie. The question is going to be how much bad blood is there, and how motivated are they to say, we just want to clear the decks and be ready to go. But I would expect that both of them will be moved before the beginning of the season. The Nets want to start clean. And dragging this into yet another season, I just don't see owner Joe Tsai or GM Sean Marks having an appetite for that.
Look, I think moving both guys before the season is likely, Rick. But I do think there's a chance that they could keep both guys. And I think they should, to be honest. Certainly Kevin Durant, unless I'm blown away with an offer. I've got him for 4 years. All right, those offers will, as long as he doesn't get injured, those offers will still be there at the trade deadline or after next season. So I have to be blown away. And there's reports that Minnesota wouldn't give up not only Anthony Edwards, which I think we all understand, but Karl Anthony Towns wouldn't give him up. So I want to see. Kevin Durant has said, yeah, I want to go to Miami, but I want Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, and Jimmy Butler still on the team. So what's Miami going to offer? And remember, there is that long list of NBA stars, Donovan Mitchell, and I think Devin Booker's on it. Andrew Wiggins is on it. Of guys that cannot be traded to the Nets as long as Ben Simmons is on the roster. So if I'm the Nets and I'm sitting back saying I want to maximize Kevin Durant as a trade asset, I'm not sure you can maximize him just yet, right at this moment. So I think there's a decent chance that they wait. You guys know I hope they don't trade him. I hope they both play in Brooklyn, or at least Kevin Durant next year. But I think it's likely, Nick, that they're moved. But I'm giving them a chance to still be there at training camp.
Well, at training camp, maybe it waits. But at start of the season, no chance for either. NBA teams don't hold star players hostage. I say there's no chance. You guys addressed the KD stuff. He wasn't a star player, and it was a different circumstance, and he was always
He's not a star?
He
made all-star teams, all-NBA.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
And they got a great haul. They held up and they got James Harden for him.
I understand what happened. I also understand James Harden quit on a team with multiple years left on his deal. An MVP, let me rephrase it. MVP caliber guys get what they want in this league. Anthony Davis got it. James Harden got it. Kevin Durant's going to get it. But I want to go to Kyrie for a moment, because the only reason the Lakers trade Wilds isn't done yet is because they're haggling over draft compensation. And I want to correct a misnomer out there that unfortunately has, I think, been perpetuated quite a bit by a guy that I am friendly with and a guy that is a true personal friend of yours, the great Bill Simmons, who keeps saying every chance he gets about all the picks the Lakers owe to New Orleans. But they don't. Did you know, America, that from 2023 until the end of time, how many first years the Lakers don't have a first-round draft pick? 1. They are minus 1 pick. Now, it's complicated because it's either the 24 or the 25 pick. New Orleans can decide, and that's why the Lakers can't trade a pick until 27, 28, 29. The reason I mention that is this. Here are the following teams that owe more than the Lakers as far as future draft picks. Minnesota, of course, is -4 picks. Philly is -3. Denver is -3. Milwaukee's -2 and 2 swaps. The Clippers are -2 and 2 swaps. The Nets and the Hawks are -2 and a swap or more. So here's why I mentioned that, Wilds. What do all those teams have in common? They're all trying to win. So the idea, and they're all like, let's win right now. Now, it might have blown up on Brooklyn. The idea that the Lakers are going to hold the line on a Kyrie Irving trade when all of us, the entire NBA world, except for the great Rick Bucher, think, well, you might be able to win the title if you get Kyrie Irving. No matter how poorly run the Lakers are, I can't believe they're that poorly run. They have all their picks moving forward except for 1 year. If you have to attach an extra one to get Kyrie and Joe Harris, you obviously do it. If you have to attach an extra 2 to get Kyrie and Seth Curry, obviously you do it. Like, it's a no-brainer.